So, former Super Eagles head coach Joseph Posero has now started his work with the Zamalek football team after signing just a few hours ago to become the new coach of that team. And he's in fact even started training the boys ahead of their game tomorrow against Petrojets in the in the Egyptian Premier League. But if you look at the situation with Zamalek, they are not in a bad position right now in the league. They are currently in the third position with 26 points from 13 games. Alali in the second place with 29 from 13 games. Pyramids currently topping with 30 points from 13 games. So it's very, very much open for grabs, the championship. And I'm sure Posero is going to want to uh, get in there and fight for the title for this football club. In fact, that's the reason why he was employed in first place and paid this really massive sum of money because Zamalek, they want to be competing, at the top in the Egyptian league. But let's leave that one aside. And then let me let you know some of the other stories that also happened. Of course, Uche Chrisantus was, the star man for Getafe's game last night against Girona. He scored a very, very important goal, scoring in the third minute to help Getafe come away with a 2-1 victory over Girona. And as I always say, he is now sending a message to Coach Chelle ahead of these games that we have coming up next month. And even though a lot of people have criticized Uche Chrisantus, not really Uche Chrisantus, but a lot of people have criticized Getafe for playing this man in the position that he doesn't naturally fit in because he's a natural midfielder, but he's been played as a nine, a false nine in this Getafe side, and that has really reduced his quality, reduced his attributes because he's constantly playing, at a position that you wouldn't call his comfort zone. And this has obviously, caused some issue for him, I'm sure, because uh, he's not going to expect to get a call up to be the striker of the Super Eagles of Nigeria because we already have way too much competition there. A lot of people are already ahead of him in terms of scoring goals. The OSIMHEN, Victor Boniface, and the rest. So definitely, this man scoring goals, yes, a few goals here and there for Getafe, but if he's going to get a call up, then we might be looking at the midfield area where he's going to slot him because it's definitely not coming to lead the attacking line for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. We know that one for sure. But great performance for him. And then we'll move over to the Super Falcons side of things. Yesterday, we saw Chamaka Nadozie, a current African best goalkeeper, women category, put up some really fantastic saves for Paris FC women as they completely blew away Saint Etienne at home on the night. That game ended 4-0 in favor of Paris FC, and Chamaka Nadozie, as usual, putting up some really good saves to help them keeping a clean sheet, which is really fantastic. I think this is now her fourth clean sheet successively, in a short space of time. And if you look at the league, they are doing absolutely well in the second position right now in the League One women category with 36 points from 15 games, beyond topping the league right now with 40 points from 14 games. They have one outstanding. And then you have the likes of PSG and other clubs. PSG actually in the third position. So Paris FC are doing really well, and they are in fact in the title race, as it stands. But it's still a bit too early to say, but definitely, they are definitely powering on. And thanks to Super Falcons, some kudos has to go to Chamaka Nadozie for really brilliant saves, time to time to help them get massive points, and keep clean sheets. I'm moving away, guys. Let me let you know that Victor Osimhen's Galatasaray has now come under some massive criticisms by a former Besiktas director of football by the name Onda Ozen. He has some really personal things to say after he won Galatasaray fall to a 4-1 defeat at the hands of AZ Alkmaar away. And from the things that he said, he said that Galatasaray lost woefully because they lost the backbone of their club. This man, he has not come out to say the reason why he feels that Galatasaray underperformed and got thrashed 4 goals to 1 by AZ Alkmaar. So he said, you know, there were way too many absent of key players on Galatasaray. The likes of Victor OSIMHEN, as I said, in the previous video, he didn't attend that match because he was suspended due to picking up 3 yellow cards in the group stages. And not just Victor OSIMHEN, Torreira didn't play the game, and then Davinson Sanchez didn't play the game. So this man is saying that Galatasaray went to that match without their backbone, on the pitch. For example, OSIMHEN is the main man in the attack, but he wasn't there. And then Torreira, main man in midfield, but wasn't there. Sanchez, main man in the defense, but wasn't there. So this man feels that it was no surprise for him that Galatasaray lost that match. That these 3 players are the superstructure of Galatasaray, and if they are not available, then obviously it's hard to see them get a victory, in any match. So just to let you guys know what he said in his own word. He said the score line could have gone to different places. No OSIMHEN, no Torreira, no Davinson Sanchez. You can't play the same game without the 3 important players in the backbone. Sometimes you have to play according to the conditions. This is the first time I've seen Galatasaray this disorganized in the last 2.5 seasons. Then he also had 1 or 2 criticisms from Morata, who was nowhere to be found in that game. He said Abraham Morata gave an image that did not fit into the team in this match. His body language was very low. His shoulders were on the ground. He came to Galatasaray physically, but I'm not sure if he came mentally. So this is the criticism coming out now from this man Oda Ozen about this game. Of course, as a top football official in Turkey, he would want a Turkey team to actually go all out, perform very well, and bring the title back to Turkey, which is why this is something that means so much to him. But again, we'll see what happens. They have a return leg to play next week, and Victor OSIMHEN and the other backbone players, the Torreira, the Davinson Sanchez, I'm sure the team is going to want to get them sorted out so they can play in these games to try and see if they can rescue the game. But it's going to be very difficult to overturn that 4-1 goal deficit. But we all know that in football, anything is possible. It's not over until it's over.